For my third year field course I went to the Galapagos Islands and it was the best 2 weeks of my life. The Galapagos Islands are famous for having lots of endemic species and I was lucky enough to free dive with hammerhead sharks as well as hundreds of eagle rays. But what was really special was seeing how the local people interact with their environment and the wildlife, and it was a really eye-opening experience.
So in January I went to Borneo on my field trip. It was an absolutely amazing experience. Spent the first week in Tarakan and Settlang meeting all the people, experiencing their way of life, which is so different to our own. It was amazing in and of itself, and then got to spend a week in the rainforest, seeing the incredible biodiversity there and all the species there which you can't see anywhere else on the planet. It really was the absolute best 2 weeks of my life.
So the Tannu Forest was absolutely beautiful. I remember first going in, hiking up the river and seeing these huge trees on either side, and it was stunning. My favourite experience was probably seeing all the amazing creatures around camp, such as Bornean horned frogs, millipedes, huge tarantulas. It was incredible.
So I'm Sophie, I'm a MSci marine biology student in my 4th year, and I was lucky enough to go to Hong Kong in October as part of our field trip. So my favourite part about the field course was probably meeting the inspirational people who are targeting some of the biggest issues Hong Kong and the world are facing, such as over-exploitation, the wildlife markets, the ivory trade and climate change. So we were working with Hong Kong University. This was really inspiring because they were doing work from plastic pollution all the way to looking at pangolins and their endangerment. So this was really inspiring to do pursue future research.
I would really recommend that you take this opportunity to go to Costa Rica. It's one of the best field courses for showing you such a diverse amount of wildlife. You get to learn so much, you get to become integrated within that year group, and you come away with your eyes open to the diversity of wildlife out there, and it's just a completely life-changing experience. And I can honestly say that Costa Rica lived up to these expectations and it was just so memorable.
For my third year field course, I went to Yukon in Canada and Alaska, so Sitka in Alaska. We travelled out there, a group of students, there's probably about 30-40 of us. So a highlight for me, something to tick off the bucket list, we travelled to Haines Junction and watched bears when they were salmon fishing. So we got to see 4 adults and 5 cubs, which was absolutely insane, something I've always wanted to see, so I definitely want to go back and have a go again. So while we were out in Sitka in Alaska, we got the chance to go on a boat trip. We saw so much on the boat trip. We saw more bears, we saw probably over 40 humpbacks. We saw them tail breaching, we saw them fully breaching out of the water, and it was really cool, so we got to learn how to identify the humpbacks via the markings on their tails.
So we go to the Western Ghats in southern India, and it's one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. And we're looking at the wildlife there, looking at their ecology and their evolution, but also kind of putting it into context with the human issues and the development and the conservation story too. I think the field course is a really powerful learning experience. It's a really case of doing and seeing it for yourself, which just adds volume to your learning. The highlight of the field trip for me was when we set up camera traps. This was at our camp, so just a case of seeing what we could get. And we actually got leopards turning up, which was incredible footage. And that happened just 20 minutes after we'd walked away from setting them up around the tree, and it was brilliant.